Hi everybody, I'm Spike Brave, and I'm here today to give you a look at the ballistic weapons that are available to Inner Sphere BattleMechs in Mechwarrior Online. As you can see, I'm out on the testing grounds again, and today I'm going to be picking on this catapult instead of the commando. The ballistic weapons do quite a bit more damage, and he won't stand out very well to this, so I picked a slightly larger target for this particular demonstration. I'm going to start out this video talking about what I talk about usually in my weapon test videos, and that's how you use your targeting reticules to aim. So I'm going to zoom real quick here, and then what we'll do is we'll point our arms up, and as you can see, the circle in the center of my screen is changing its position, and what that circle is where my arm-mounted weapons are pointed. The plus indicates where my torso-mounted weapons are pointed. If you look at my weapons display in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that there's a circle, and it shows the 4 ballistic weapons I have equipped. So that way I know at a glance what weapons will fire when I point my arms. And if I had any torso-mounted weapons, it would show a plus, and the torso-mounted weapons would fire where the plus is aimed. Something I haven't mentioned in my other videos because I forgot was that, as you can tell, my Jägermech can aim up, and he can aim down, but if I move side to side, the circle doesn't move side to side. What that has to do with is the way the Jägermech is constructed. What it has is a shoulder and an upper arm actuator, and for the construction rules of the BattleTech game, that's all a mech needs. What they've done in Mechwarrior Online, which I think is pretty neat, is that upper arm actuators give you up and down motion like this, and the lower arm actuators give you side to side motion. So if you're in a mech and you're wondering why I can't go side to side, I can only go up and down, it's because the particular mech you're using doesn't have any lower arm actuators. Not both arms are required to have a lower arm actuator, so if you have like a low amount of motion from side to side, generally means that you only have one lower arm actuator. So I'm sorry I haven't mentioned that before, but I did want to talk about that here because I'd forgotten to in the past, so that's a little talk about how we aim our targeting reticules. And the first thing I want to talk about in this video is the Gauss rifle. This weapon has a mechanic that no other weapon in the game shares, and that is that the Gauss rifle needs to be charged. And what the Gauss rifle is it's a railgun. It uses a series of magnets to propel a shell at high speed through the barrel. Another thing that is confusing to newer players other than the charge mechanic it has is that Gauss rifles explode, but not the ammo. The ammo is just a slug of iron and nickel, but the rifle itself, because it's got all those magnets in it, requires a large amount of power. If the Gauss rifle takes a hit, it will explode violently and damage the internals of your mech. They're pretty clear in saying that the ammo doesn't explode, but there's not a lot of information out there about how the rifle explodes. So that's another special thing about the Gauss rifle. But let's talk about this charge mechanic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up my Gauss rifle. I'm going to hold my fire button down, and I'll just let it cycle through. And what you'll notice is there will be 3 things that happen. Number 1, you'll hear a sound. The sound will change when it's ready to fire, and then go away once I've overcharged. The second thing you'll notice, if you're looking at my weapons display in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see that the recharge bar there on the left hand side will fill up yellow, it'll turn green for a moment, and then it'll just turn off. And then the other thing you'll notice is that around my targeting reticule I have 6 boxes, and the one in the upper left corner that's got a little bracket over it is the one my Gauss rifle is on. These are representations of your weapons group around the targeting reticule, and that little box will change colors as well to let me know how my Gauss rifle charge is proceeding. So I'm going to ramp that up here real quick so you can hear the sound. And as you can tell, the sound changed a little bit when it turned green, and then stopped completely when I'd overcharged. If you overcharge, you need to let go of the button and press it down again to charge again. So I'm going to let you listen to that one more time to make sure that you heard it okay. So that's how the Gauss rifle mechanic works. I know a lot of new players are unfamiliar with it. It can be a little bit cumbersome. It's not explain to you. So I just wanted to give you an example of how that charge mechanic works. And now what we'll do is I'll actually shoot the catapult so you can see how the weapon itself works. And as you can see, once you do shoot, you have to wait for it to reload. So I'll do that for you one more time so you can see how the mechanic works and hear all the sounds. I just want to make sure everybody's real familiar with how this works, because there is a lot of questions about exactly how this works that I see. So one more time for you. And that's how the Gauss rifle works. So next thing I want to show you is the machine gun. And how the machine gun works is that it fires in a cone. So what I'm going to try to do is aim at this guy's armpit. And you'll see that my bullets aren't actually all going to the same spot. So watch this paper doll up top, and we'll see how these spray just a little bit. You can see I'm kind of getting everywhere on them, changing colors, at least on this side of it. So be aware that when you're shooting your machine guns, they'll spread a little bit. It's kind of a cone rather than just a direct fire. It's a little something that's a little bit different about the machine gun, so I wanted to show you how that works, and we'll do another example. So let's going to look at the Gauss rifle and machine gun. Now I'm going to go on to the AC weapon systems. And in this mech I have an AC2 and an AC10. And what AC stands for is autocannon. This is also something that some players have commented on not being lore accurate. Some people believe that all autocannons should fire bursts. If you've seen the clan mechs, that's what they do. In the Inner Sphere, autocannons fire a solid shell. The reason for this really is that if you look at the history of BattleTech as a game, it's been out for over 30 years, and the early descriptions of a lot of these mechs state that the autocannon fires one single slug. That changed over time, and depending on when people got involved in the game and what they're familiar with seeing, they believe that it should either be a solid shot or a burst weapon. In the BattleTech game, it wasn't really a huge change. The turns of BattleTech take 10 seconds, so how many shells it fired really didn't matter. Just if you hit with it, you did how many ever points of damage in 10 seconds, and that was fine. So I just wanted to touch on that little bit of lore, and we'll show you how the autocannons work. So I'm going to shoot my AC2, and it'll just shoot a solid slug straight at it. There you go. Hits right where I'm aiming. Something to be aware of with the AC2 is it has a really good rate of fire, but it's awfully hot. Watch my heat gauge. I'm just going to wail on this guy for a second and let my heat gauge build up quite a bit. So as you can see, it was going up pretty rapidly. A lot of people like to put a whole bunch of AC2s on their mech and then just wail on an enemy mech. That can be very hot. I just wanted to inform players of that. And then the other thing is there's a mechanic in the game in which if you equip multiple AC2s, they generate more heat when they're fired together. So be aware of that with the AC2. And then we'll show you the AC10, and I'll just put 10 points of damage on the target. Nice solid slug. That's all there is to it. Now, one thing I did want to show you is there's quite a bit of speed difference between the autocannons and the Gauss rifle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot at this Atlas up here, and we'll see how fast the AC2 shell goes, and then we'll see how fast the AC10 shell goes. A little bit slower, but the big difference you'll see is I'll equip that Gauss rifle again. Watch for this shell, it's quite a bit faster. So for that charge mechanic, you do get quite a bit more speed on that Gauss rifle. That's going to look at these particular ballistic weapons. I'm going to hop out and I'm going to get my cataphract and show you the rest of them. As I have said in all my other videos, I really recommend that you go out to the testing grounds to see how your BattleMech performs. Right here's my cataphract, and we'll go to the home tab and the testing grounds tab. And we'll pick Forest Colony and say OK. Alrighty, so
Target acquired.
I'll go say hi to our friend the Commando again. He should stand up to this particular test. So in this particular mech, what I have is an autocannon 5, an autocannon 20, and the LB-10X autocannon. And how the LB-10X works is it's a shotgun. So let's take a look at the AC-5 first. You'll see this performs just like all the other autocannons. I'm going to get a single solid shell right on his arm here. And there you go. That's all there is to that one. And then we'll take a look at the AC-20. And this one has the shortest range of any autocannon, but does quite a bit of damage. Show the other arm. I think I can take this arm off with it.
Artillery strike online.
There you go. That's how the solid shot autocannons work. And then here's the LB-10X, and this will work like a shotgun. So I'll shoot at him, and what you'll see is rather than a solid slug, I'll get 10 pellets that are fine. And I'll aim at his center torso, and at this range, most of them will get on there, but they will spread, so we'll show you that. And as you can see, the center torso took most of the damage, but I did hit everywhere else on him. That is something to be aware of when using the LB-10X. A lot of people don't like those. I actually like the LB-10X. They damage critical components a little bit better, and this is actually a good example. If this guy's zipping around me real fast, if I can kind of lead him a little bit, even if I miss, see I'm hitting all around and you can see the smears, but I'm still getting some damage on him. So that can be real nice if you're getting buzzed by lights. The big problem with the LB-10X that people don't understand is don't use it to start a fight, use it to finish a fight. As you can see, he's got no armor left because they were caught on that leg, but if I hit him again with it, I'm doing quite a bit of damage to that internal stuff, and if you had ammunition or something there, I might set that off. So keep that in mind. The LB-10X isn't great against armor, but it's wonderful against internals, so if you're using it with something else, and in fact my Protector Orion Hero Mech, I use 2 PPCs and an LB-10X. PPCs work great for opening that armor up, and then once they get inside the 90-meter minimum range of my PPCs, I can start using that LB-10X to tear up their internals. So just wanted to give that little bit of advice. I do like those LB-10Xs for that reason. And finally, let's talk about weapons range. As you can see, my AC-20 has a 270 meter range. Beyond that, I'll continue to do damage, but it'll decrease until it gets out to 540 or double that range, and then it won't do any more damage. Just like the energy weapons, if you saw that particular weapons test. So if I back off a little bit, we'll start backing up. I bet you grades. So we'll walk away from him for a moment. So let's get back just a little bit more, and I'll show you some visual cues you can use. So we're at almost 300 meters now, a little bit more now. And as you can see, when I'm aiming at him, the AC-20 turns yellow. That's letting you know that they're outside the maximum effective range. I'll still do damage, but it won't be as much. And what I'll do is I'll aim at his other arm. And when I did that earlier, I ripped it completely off. Oh, I need to switch to my AC-20. So we'll shoot at that arm again. And then the other thing that's important to know about ballistics is they do have a little bit of bullet drop beyond their maximum effective range. So I got him under his arm there. There we go. Oh, and that messed up his tire side pretty good. So you still get some effectiveness with the weapon, but not as much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after the cicada that's behind him, because that's out there quite a ways and has a little bit more armor and I'm about to kill him. So we'll pick on the cicada too, so he doesn't feel left out. lowered the engine in this particular mech because I want to make sure I have enough room to mount these heavy ballistics. That is a nice thing about ballistics. They are heavy and require ammunition, so we can run out of ammunition, but they are rather heat efficient, so that's a good trade-off. So as you can tell, I'm about halfway to the drop off on this, just a little bit above it, and we'll take a shot at it and see how much damage it does. Still some pretty significant damage, but not as effective. It's bad enough, so. Alright. Shot at it. Here we are. And then we'll do on this rise a little bit. Get right on the edge of the effective weapon range. So on the side. Try this a little bit here. Back up a bit. So I'm right at that maximum effective range now. And if I can hit him, hardly damaged his leg armor. So keep that in mind. A lot of people try to take long range shots with their autocannon 20. Due to the low amount of ammo, as you can tell, I've only got one round left that these carry. I wouldn't recommend sniping with these. Grab an LB10X, or not an LB10X, but a AC10 or AC5 if you want to do some medium range shooting. If you want to do long range shooting with a ballistic weapon, I recommend the AC2 or, of course, the Gauss rifle. It is a sniper rifle. So that's going to look at the ballistic weapons that are available. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I wish you luck on the battlefield, and I hope to see you there. Thanks a lot.